today on the Average Joes of Arizona, the WJ gets a new CB. So for today, we're going to finally put in the CB on the WJ. We've got we're starting with a Cobra 19 compact design CB. Should be pretty good for this one. I got a 3-foot fire stick antenna. We're going to mount this on the rail of the hood here, the gutter of the hood. And a CB mount. You got a CB spring for giving some flexibility. 18-foot CB antenna cable, internal CB speaker, and a PA, which will be fun. All right. Okay. Going to unbox the Cobra CB. Set of instructions. Nice small unit. Mic, bracket, and the mic holder. That little system. Thank you. Right here. I've got it upside down, but either here or there. But I'm thinking right here. It'll be in the passenger's way, but so we test fit it in different areas, and we looked at it down here, and it's kind of just out in the open, and they reach for it. So we discussed it, and I think it's nice and slim. It fits nice and snug. It's almost fits perfect right here, and the dials, it's kind of out of the way. And you can get to the dials quicker, easier than reaching forward for it. So I think we're going to go with it right here. We're going to mount it in this spot right here. Okay. First off, we're going to take the dash off and take this off. It comes off with I'm just using a putty knife. So we just kind of work this around. There we go. That popped out. Careful not to tear the stuff. Oh. Alright, so it's held in by 4 clips. Alright, there's part 1. Now, what I'm trying to do, I guess I should explain it. I'm trying to get down to the cigarette lighter, to the back of it, to get to the hot and negative, the power and the negative line, so we can wire in the CB. Alright, next we're going to take out these screws. So, here's the back of the cigarette lighter. Right here. We got a positive, negative ground. Okay, so we're going to tap into there. Reason being, you don't use the cigarette lighter that much, except for charging phones and stuff. and it's a ignition on source. So when the ignition comes on, you got power. When it's off, you don't. So you don't leave the battery on. Make your battery go dead. So we're going to clip here, split it, tie into it, and go from there. Okay, so what I got to do now is clip these two wires here. 1, 2. I need to strip them. Okay, so what I did is I cut this the power and the ground wire on the cigarette lighter. Got those cut. Now I'm going to connect these. Move this way. This lighter's killing me. Okay. So what we're going to do is reconnect them and get them ready to tap into for the CB. All right, there we go. We pulled the dash to where we can get to it. Move the gear shifts out of the way. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to pull the interior on this. Underneath is a little, you got 2 screws in each. The reason why we're pulling this, we're going to make a little drill through the side to run the bolts to mount the CB. Okay, so what we did, we loosened the screws. There's 2 screws in the bottom of this, 2 Phillips head screws. So we'll pull this out, put this in the back, and we can drill 2 holes, which we'll use to mount here, mount the CB. And then this gives us access all through the top here. I can run the wire through here and it'll be tied into the cigarette lighter. Good? We'll drill these in. I'm going to put this in place and mark it. Okay, so I got 2 holes marked here. I'm gonna use a small bit. And we're punching through this thin wall right here. And you need a flat head and a little wrench, tighten that down, and we'll be good. Okay, so we got the bracket mounted here, got the wire somewhat run. We're going to put the CB in just as a hold it, get it out of the way. Just kind of hold it in place there for a little bit. We still need to put some things on it, and we're going to run the. Going to finish running the wire all the way through up to and connect it to the power. So hopefully we can do this. I reach my hands there. might have you do it. You got smaller arms. In fact, I will have you do it. Time out. Camera change. Okay, this is what we got going on. We switched because I can't get my hands in through here to run the wire. It just needs to go between the glove compartment and the gear shift. So he's got smaller arms and hands. He's going to run this wire since it is his Jeep. Yeah, well, eventually will become his Jeep when he earns it. You getting it?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Sometimes it pays to be small. Alright. Good job. And he's going to run the other stuff too.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm back over on this side. He ran the wire, did a great job of it. And what we're going to do is tie the wire into it. Yeah, crap, I wasn't thinking. Here, run it again. You might have to come over here. See if I can get in there. This is why I'm not an electrician. I don't like wiring cars. I never have. I probably never will. It's just a pain in the butt. It's not my favorite thing to do. I think I'd rather go to the dentist and get a root canal without Novocaine. Okay. Yeah, I finally got it. I gotta make sure it's not on any of these mechanisms. I don't want it to pinch and short out or something like that. Alright, we're finally able to tap into the power. So what we're gonna do just that. I've got the battery disconnected right now so we don't arc. Make sure that's all the way in. It is. Crimp it down. And pull. Get the ground in there. Okay, so we tied in the CB, the main CB power to the cigarette lighter. We ran it. Next we're going to do, I've got the battery disconnected. I'm going to connect it and we're going to test for power. Make sure we are getting power from there. I got it. We got power. I don't want to run it too much without the antenna and stuff on, but yeah, we got good power. Good to go. Okay, so we know we got power. We just tested it. We got power. We're going to go ahead and button this up and get this out of the way. Awesome. We're set there. All right. Box mounted. Everything else is good. Next, we need to run the antenna. Run the antenna on that side. So, next up, we're going to mount the antenna, and I forget what they call these things, a gutter mount, whatever. It goes in the gutter of the hood here, basically, and I can't mount it up here. It's got a beam, brings it in too close, the hood won't shut. So it's got to be right here is the closest. So we're going to try it there for a little bit and see what we think of the antenna being there. So I can pull out this bolt, and then I've got to drill another hole right here to mount it. Or, you know what, I think I'm just going to mount it right here. It's nice and flat, and yeah, we'll just go with it there for a little bit. Alright, so what we're going to do, I'm going to have Danny run these through here. He's got smaller hands for this. He's well equipped to do this stuff. You got it caught on the channel. Pull it back out a little bit. You got it caught right here. So you got to come up through here and then set it back in there. No, go back down. Okay, so last night we ran into a problem with putting the CB in. I bought this bracket here, and the antenna is supposed to come off this bracket. However, you can see the length of it, and it wouldn't. I didn't anticipate it wouldn't fit here. So we made a temporary bracket. I just got a flat piece of iron, stuck it on there, tied it on. I'm not happy with this. I don't like it. But to start it and get it installed, it'll work. I think I'm going to relocate this somewhere on the back bumper. It just doesn't look right here. I know it looks pretty ugly. But for right now, we'll run with this for a little bit. We ran the cord through the top. Ran through the top along the edge, brought it in underneath the seat, and then over, or underneath the seal. Did I say seat? Underneath the seal, and we brought it down along here, popped this off, just some 4 pins on this, and ran it over to the other side. And we'll walk over the other side and show you what we got there. Okay, so for this side, what we did, and I think the seat's already all the way back, basically we ran a lot of the wires underneath. I do have a speaker. We still have to mount the speaker. I'm just leaving it right there right now. I'll have Danny tuck this up in here, hide the wire to it, and we ran a PA. And I ran the PA through the back here if you want to take a look. So I couldn't get the wire without drilling, and I don't want to drill into it. I couldn't get the PA wire to the speaker. So what I ended up doing, ran it underneath the seat here. Right now, it's for temporary. We're going to have to run it a little bit under the carpet, but it comes under the seat over here, and there is fix that later. Ran it underneath the back, and this is where the brake, I believe, the electronics to the brake runs, and there is a rubber grommet. I gotta crawl underneath the car. Go ahead and shut that off and crawl under the car. Okay, it might be a little bit dark under here, but I mounted the PA under the skid plate. I mounted it backwards so a lot of the road water, whatever, won't get in it. Plug it up. Now, this is a $7 horn off of Amazon, so is it going to get dirty, beat up? Yeah, it is. It's $7. Big deal. So I mounted it onto here, zip tied along the brake lines. If you can see here, I'll let you get the camera around. Zip tied it around the brake lines, and then there's a rubber grommet, one on each side. I pulled that out, and this is the I believe it's the actuator to brake, I'm not sure, but it comes in from the cab, and I just put it through the rubber grommet there. So, ran it there. He wanted a PA on here, and that was about the only way I could figure out where to put it. He's kind of doing everything upside down. Sorry about that. The camera work is going to be kind of make you dizzy. So the PA is right next to the transfer case. Seems to work pretty good there. All right.
So that's about it. Like and subscribe.